I wonder too, and there's the chance it's not scrapped, but the fact that because
Maybe Vince thought it,
probably
it
is,
maybe gave away too much, so he was like, "Nah, maybe it's a bit too
possibly,
much."
yeah, and he just forgot to change like the image file itself.
But that is super interesting. There's so much. Yeah, damn. So yeah, that's 40. We're about to hit the 50-minute mark. That's crazy, huh?
Damn, goddamn.
So, again, I'll keep asking anything more we want to touch on in chapter 5, or shall we enter the quickfire Rye questions?
I think I'm good with the quick fire. I don't think there's anything else to bring up.
Alright,
I'm
so
looking
these are just
through.
questions I came up with. I just thought it'd be fun to ask you at the end your thoughts on them.
All right, let's see. I'm all
So
ready.
question one, Puppet Master's voice, is he male sexy voice, or is he like Crabbit henchman voice?
Um, I'm picturing something like dark and ominous, kind of. I don't know why, but I've been imagining a lot of like the Cenobite from Dead by Daylight, Pinhead, sort of like that
Pinheads. You
sort of
think he's
voice.
gonna have a Pinheads type voice?
That and also just yeah, that kind of voice, basically.
Alright, so male sexy voice, got it.
Yes, yes.
Question two. The mannequins. Are they gonna headbutt you in a jump scare? They're just gonna headbutt you.
I really hope they do. There's usually about like 3 kill shots per monster. I really hope that's one of them. Matia showed how it could work, and I'd love to see that in game.
Question three. Do you think Malik at some point is going to say no, impossible?
Yeah, most likely. Malik is especially when we get like the final ring piece, he's just gonna lose it. He's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
like whine, and you just Malik.
I bet it's
Mortal,
gonna happen.
no.
Mortal, no, don't put that down. Question four, is Agatha gonna be in chapter five?
I think. I think part of the reason I think Agatha was in chapter 4 is because they already had Cat Cressida doing the matron, so they just brought Agatha back for that reason.
But also keep
Because
in
they already had...
mind, I'm pretty sure Agatha's the soul that was bounded to create Agatha. Wasn't that the when Beer sacrificed the Mace daughter?
Yes, I think Vince even confirmed that.
So yeah.
So yeah, I could see Agatha returning. She's a fan favorite, and it makes sense in the context of the story.
Question five, following up. If we fight Beerus, do you think Agatha might actually not side with Beerus and help us fight Beerus?
Oh, that would be really cool.
Imagine
To actually
Agatha
like team up with
teleport
her.
striking, like teleport striking Beerus every now and then.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
And they could just reuse
Or
the Hello Friend animation as well.
honestly, yeah. But yeah, that'd be really cool to like team up with a monster. I think Agatha's the only monster we could team up with. The others probably can't be reasoned with and would want to kill us.
Yeah.
Like Lucky, we can't team up with. There's no way.
Question number 6. Will Mama Bear return and will we see her face?
Oh, okay. So Vince did say in the Q&A that we wouldn't. However, Vince, when it comes to spoiler stuff, does tend to misdirect us a bit. He did say Mama Bear was not the boss and barely buried. He did say that.
With Vince, he either says you'll see or he says no, but that doesn't always mean no.
Yeah.
Like, didn't he at one point say that none of the scrap tracks from the scrapped videos would ever come into the game, but we got Chef Frenzy anyway?
Yeah, yeah. I would love to see Mama Bear's face. I feel it was a missed opportunity not to have it in her boss form and barely buried. But if she does end up showing it in chapter 5, I feel that would kind of justify why.
Another
Especially
follow
because,
up.
like, she's... Oh, you can go, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, you can finish.
No, I was just going to say, especially since, she's, like, Malik's executioner.
Exactly. Follow up question: can Mama Bear be killed, and will she be killed in chapter 5?
So I very much think that she should have died and barely buried.
I see.
And it's kind of, because, you have that E-note, like, going into how, like, I don't think she could even be killed. So, to me, it kind of would have made sense if she died during the fight. And Vince did confirm that canonically Mama Bear has the ability to explode like the Trigger Teddy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
If Mama Bear does die in Chapter 5, I really hope she does that.
That'd be interesting. Because I've already theorized, and I've told you in the past that I think we might fight some past enemies as bosses, like Lucky and Mama Bear. We might get another boss fight with them.
Lucky, I'm fairly certain we will. Vince made it, and I'm pretty sure he said this in the Q&A right after Chapter 4. He made sure we knew that the Joy Joy Gang was returning. in
Yeah,
some
yeah,
capacity.
he said that they're gonna play a big role in the chapter.
Yeah, and Lucky never lost.
Yeah,
We
and
gotta
keep in
fix
mind as
that.
well that the Puppet Master, when someone asked if he's a significant story character, he said he plays a big role in the chapter. So, but
Yeah,
he's a boss. Yeah.
yeah, I could. I mean, well, because you have the JoJo Gang and Mama Bear high up on Malik's like priority list of his monsters. I imagine the Puppet Master is also very high on that list.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine so for sure. I actually
Yeah,
think Malik does have some sort like enforcers, like his most trusted enemies. I think he actually works closely with them.
yeah, probably.
Which leads me to my next question. If we do go to Malik's lair, Vince confirmed Malik has an office and a desk. So
Yep,
will we eventually reach Malik's office?
I think so. Yes, it'd be pretty funny if we could sit in his chair. That I can imagine that being just like a funny achievement.
That could be an
But
achievement for the level, yeah.
yeah, I definitely think we will go into Malik's office. What would be even funnier is if like he's having a meeting going on with like the other monsters, like Lucky, Agatha, Mama Bear, and whatnot.
Isn't that I think I said that to you as well in the past, like maybe at one point Doug's crawling through a vent or maybe like sneaking past like an office and you can actually hear like a meeting going on.
That would be really cool.
Like you could hear Lucky and Mama Bear and stuff talking to Malik.
Yes, that'd be awesome. And that's like maybe on your way out, and then like they see you, and the escape sequence is just all of them after you or something.
Yeah, and then maybe Lucky catches up to you, and then you actually fight Lucky because Lucky has a huge ego. Like Lucky
He
wants to kill
does.
you. Oh, he wants to kill you.
Yeah, and I'm fairly certain we will break that ego in this chapter.
We'll defeat. I think Lucky's gonna lose in chapter 5.
Yes, definitely. He never did lose in chapter 4, which I love that idea that we never did lose mascot that we lost mascot man. But
And
we
final
will
question, which is the ultimate most important question, Rye. You have to answer this truthfully, okay?
I am ready.
Is it Bierce or Bryce?
Bryce.
Thank God. Okay, I was really panicking there.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
I'm glad I
yeah,
could alleviate your fears.
that's nearly 55 minutes. Anything else
Dear
to add,
God.
or shall we wrap this baby up?
I guess the other just in this relates to the chapter, but not like the content itself. When do you think we're getting it? Any
Cha-
predictions?
Chapter 5. Oh, that's actually that's a good thing to end on. Actually, chapter 5
Yeah.
release dates theories. If the chapter was split up, I think we could have gotten part 1 at the end of the year.
Yes, I'm fairly certain we would have.
Now that it's not split up, I'm very certain it's next year, but I think it's going to be quarter 1.
I'm not sure about that because didn't Vince say he wanted to release console versions with the chapter?
I mean, there's a separate company doing the console ports. I'm pretty sure. So
That is true.
It depends on
Um,
how quickly.
I
They
still
do it.
think quarter 1 of next year is too early. Although next year I think is a safe idea. Though
It
this is
will.
glow stick.
Yeah, but
So
I'm pretty positive it is definitely next year because they've spent nearly 3 years on Chapter 5 already.
yeah,
Keep in mind they built Chapter 4 from the ground up. Chapter 4 is done completely from the ground up. Chapter
exactly.
5 they've already had a 2-year head start on it when Chapter 4 came out.
Yeah, because just like in the background, whenever Vince had free time or like his contractors
Exactly.
weren't doing any commission chapter 5 stuff, which was very smart.
And I remember, like, in an old Q&A, sometimes I rewatch the very old Q&As just to look back on stuff. And
Yeah.
I think it was Q&A 3 or 4, someone asked, are the mannequins' models and animations done? And he said, yep, they're all done. That was ages ago.
Yeah, and I even remember like back when I was like a Nixon server, and this was like 2020. Nixon even said that like he saw everything that the mannequin had at the time.
Like, the abilities, we're talking about, like, the abilities of the mannequins.
Oh, well, not sure about that. He did, I think he said like just the animation, so that might have included the ability.
But Vince did say that the animations and models were completely done, and that was like 2 years ago, over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And obviously the mall was probably starting to get built at that time as well.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, definitely. The mall was probably the first level that Vince started. I know chapter 4 proved that he doesn't always make the levels in order, but I'm fairly certain he started on the mall first.
He would have, yeah. And then I'll be honest. I think the mall is not too far from being finished. I could see the mall being pretty far in development.
Yeah,
I think the stretch is going to be 10, 11, and 12. I think they're still quite early, but I think level 9's actually maybe around about 60% done.
most likely. Yeah. Vince is very far along on the mall, I imagine, if not already done.
Because
I don't know
ages
how
ago,
he's.
because remember, ages ago, sorry I keep interrupting you,
Oh, you're good.
but
You're good.
ages ago, when someone asked for a percent done on Chapter 5, he said 50%, and that was nearly a year ago now.
Yes. And there was that whole thing like Vince isn't the greatest, and that's putting it lightly, at stuff with like when it comes to like releases and percentages.
Yeah,
But
that's why he says that he only gives a release date when he's absolutely certain.
that's why he's not releasing the Beyond Sim showcase. But
Well, he said he might. He said he might.
he might. Yes. Yes.
He
I'd
said
love
he
to
said
see.
he might just say screw it and release it.
Fair enough, honestly. But just given how large Chapter 5 is, I honestly am not expecting it Q1 of next year. It'd be awesome, don't get me wrong, but I feel the fact that we haven't seen a level yet is a little concerning.
Yeah,
If they want to release it by then.
has said he will show them all. He said he will eventually show them all, but not yet.
That'll be a very hype day when he does finally show them all, because we have no idea what it's gonna look like.
I hope it's I hope it has some 80s vibes to it. I'd love an 80s vibe mall.
Most definitely. At least Zone 1 will be very 80s, because you have like the synths and the music and everything.
Yeah. And Zone 2 could maybe be quite neon-esque as well. Again, relating to that 80s vibe.
Definitely. Never mind. That's the track with the synths. Never
Yeah,
mind.
Lost and Found. Lost and Found's very retro. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think that does it, though.
Oh, yeah, we're about to hit an hour. We're going to end on an hour.
Let's go. Perfect.
Obviously, we could have chatted way longer than that, but obviously, we don't want we don't want to make people fall asleep.
Nah.
This was so fun. Obviously, we put this in the back burner for a while, but that's because we were just waiting for teasers.
Yeah, I feel like now was the ideal time, because we have enough, but we don't have too much.
I did kept saying that I wanted to wait for a mall teaser, but I'm glad that we just got it out of the way, because who knows how long a mall teaser would have taken to come out.
If it comes out within the next week, I swear to God.
I tell Dry, tomorrow they're going to show us them all. They're going to be like, they're going to release our first look at them all. Like, oh my God, thank you so much.
I mean, I'm very thankful we got that, what is likely Beer's teaser today, because if we got that tomorrow, I would have just been like, God damn it.
And that actually really helped with our Beer's betrayal theories as well.
Did, yes.
So yeah, Guy, thank you so much for doing this with me, man.
Oh no, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun just talking about.
We're huge advocates of Dark Deception. Yeah, maybe Chapter 4 wasn't great, but hey, we can be excited for Chapter 5.
I personally love Chapter 4 still. It didn't live up to the hype entirely.
It didn't. It's still a good chapter, it is.
It's easily my favorite.
But I don't think that just because Chapter 4 wasn't all it should have been, I don't think that immediately means Chapter 5 is going to be bad. Like, I don't agree with that mindset at all.
Yeah, I want to see how... I'm giving Glowstick the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to have an opinion on the chapter before I play it.
But either way though, me and Guy, we've been fans for a long time. We're super excited to see the ending of Dark Deception.
Yeah, I was thinking just like the other day, Vince has been doing Dark Deception for years, like almost like 10 years, 9 or 8 years at this point.
Yeah, it's nearly been a decade, yeah. Dark Deception's nearly been a whole decade.
And even if you just count like, where it started back up with like the remasters, Chapter 1, that's still like 4 years he's been working on this.
Yeah, 2018. Although I think he started in 2017, and then Monkey Business came out in 2018. Because didn't Monkey Business actually take like a year to make?
It did, because Vince took a lot of time with that stage, which I respect.
I heavily respect that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he also made other aspects of the game. I'm pretty sure like he made like all the powers around that point as well. Because in like one of the devlogs, or like the early devlogs, you see all of them.
I'd even bet you, like, considering how quickly Chapter 2 came out, I'd bet you that he was already working on Chapter 2 before Chapter 1 was even out.
Yeah, he already had a lot of assets, I believe, at by the time Chapter 2 did start development.
And,
Even with Chapter 3.
But yeah, quick bonus before we go out. What Stipendium's next Dark Deception song going to be, right?
All right. I'm gonna try not to say Mascot Mayhem, even though I feel that's the obvious answer.
It's got to be Mascot though.
It probably does. If it's not Mascot, I would actually really love a Sewers track.
Here's the thing: if you've seen his Christmas video, he actually had Dread Ducky. He featured Dread Ducky in his Christmas song.
Oh, I did not know.
So that's why I said to people, I think he's gonna do Stranger Sewers next.
Yeah. I feel like out of all the level that are currently out, Stranger Sewers is the one that's like over the most.
Yeah. Although I mean, it's not necessarily the best level in the game. I'll say that now.
Like obviously, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll be honest. It can be a bit boring, but it's still good. It's still a good level.
Yeah, I respect a lot of that level.
At the end of the day, even my most hated level, which is Barely Buried, I still think it's a good level. Like, I don't hate any Dark Deception levels.
I don't think any of them are objectively bad.
No, like, Barely Buried's still good. At best, it's good.
Yeah.
But then Torment Therapy's just amazing, so it outclasses it, you know?
Yeah, I love how like Chapter 4 has one of the worst levels in the game, but also like the best ones as well. It's kind of funny.
Well, here's the thing. Chapter 4 has what's subjective. Well, objective. Is it subjectively or objectively? Help me out, Ragai.
Which phrase? Like what?
Subjectively, is that a subjectively opinion or is it objectively opinion?
Subjectively is opinion.
Yeah. So subjectively, Chapter 4 has the best level in the game, Torment Therapy. It has the fan favorite, Mascot Mayhem, but it also subjectively has the worst level in the chapter, which is Barely Buried.
I will eventually release like a ranking of my Dark Deception levels, but I will just say here and now, Barely Buried is not at the bottom.
That's interesting.
It's not too high, don't get me wrong, but it's not at the bottom. And I'm gonna get a lot of flag for when I finally release my video. Whenever I decide to just give the ranking, I'm gonna get a lot of response to that, so that's gonna be fun.
Are you hinting at a video soon?
Oh, potentially. I've been just recently just gathering footage because I'd love to do just Dark Deception scripted content regularly.
Like, yeah, you talked to me about that. Do you actually want to talk about any of that here, or do you want to keep that secret?
I could talk a bit about it here. Basically, like, you know, I made like the Eminem 1 year in video, and I'm working on year 2 right now.
Year 2, yeah, that's gonna be a long video.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 10 times the length of the first one. It's insane. But I would love to just do more videos in that style, not like the whole like documentary sort of thing that was kind of, but just like, you know, scripted Dark Deception content.
Are you thinking of doing one for Chapter 5?
I think so, yeah. Just outlining like maybe once we get more like just go a bit more into like predictions or like.
I actually had an interesting video idea for you for a series you could do.
What's up?
It's called Level History. You literally just go through the history of a level. So Mascot Mayhem, for example, the very first instance. So you would go back to the very first devlog. That's the first Mascot Mayhem hint. You would start with the Hangry teaser in devlog 1. Then you would go through every tweet of Mascot Mayhem and basically go through the history of that level.
I feel like, and I don't mean to be like egotistical, like I always try to be like humble, but I feel like I am, out of all the people in the community, one of the most in touch with Dark Deception's history because, you know, I made, you know, the Eminem 1 year video. I made the Road to Chapter 4 where it goes over every teaser.
Oh, that was brilliant, dude, yeah.
I was watching that earlier today because it's been a while. So
yeah, I watched it like a week ago, yeah. I rewatched it.
Hey, let's go. But yeah, just scripted content for Dark Deception. I'd just love to do just like either random topics relating to it or... An idea that I did actually start scripting a bit a while ago was just ranking all the zones.
That is, that is honestly something really unique, and I think you should do that.
Yeah, and I even, I may have stolen one of your ideas. I would like to do a hot takes video at some point. I was telling you about that like the other day.
Oh yeah, by all means, dude. I mean, IHS has already stolen my tier list, so...